Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and Zach and I are doing a discussion for Sub Terra II. Now, I kind of feel bad whenever... This is few and far between that these reviews ever come out. Because I don't review games that are, like, insanely hard to get. I guess Heat, but that's just because Days of Wonder just kind of...
They always do that with Days of Wonder.
Right.
It's one of their things.
Yeah, but I don't review, like, super out-of-print games or anything like that. This is the interesting one because... Inside the Box Games completely crumbled, and another company had to pick up the entire distribution. And I don't remember the name of that company, but they did a really good job at least getting it out. So I don't know how accessible this is. I'm pretty sure it's some backers got lucky. Right. I don't know if every backer got their game.
And it depends on how he sold the IP for the game, type thing.
And I mean, I'm not gonna throw shade. I don't know Tim at all. I don't know if it was just bad luck, COVID, all that. At the end of the day, I got a copy. I got my pledge. So Sub Terra 2, obviously the sequel to Sub Terra, which you have not played. The first Sub Terra, I have. It's one of my favorite cooperative games. Because I think it just really fits, or it really feels like the spelunking theme of going through a cave and having creatures run after you. So it's like, if you've seen the movie The Descent, it's that. So, how does Sub Terra 2 stack up? I think it's actually surprisingly pretty fun. Because I expected it to be like, oh, it's Sub Terra 1, but kind of the same. So what's the point of having both? It has enough differences, I think, that it would warrant having both. It actually kind of improves on a little bit of stuff that Sub Terra 1 doesn't have. But in terms of overarching theme of getting into the sanctum, getting an artifact and getting out, that's not as exciting, I think, as spelunking, going into a cave, getting trapped and having to find your way out.
Right.
But anyway, what do you think of Sub Terra 2?
I thought it was fine. Yeah. So the question, because when I was playing it, it kept reminding me, I can't see much difference between like Forbidden Sky in it.
Right.
And so, like for me, that's where I'm like, if I have Forbidden Sky, why would I get this game?
Right, because the tile. I mean, even
the tile placing, the different types of scenarios of. I mean, the difference is you roll a die to see what happens versus a stack of cards.
Yep.
But again, to me, the dies in the sense a little bit more better for randomness because you can't count cards.
Yeah. On Sub Terra 1 had a deck of cards as well
which has a positive and a negative, right? So if you have 3 super bad events happen in a row. With cards, it's not going to happen again. Right. The 3 cards are gone. With a dice roll, you can just constantly roll in the same thing, and it can destroy you.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know if I like which one I like better. To me, they're both randomness. One is a little more controlled randomness versus the other one, but they're still random.
For this kind of game, I think the die could add 2 levels of excitement.
Right.
Versus, like, in Sub Terra 1, where it's like, oh, well, all the poison cards are gone, so these poison tiles mean nothing. Here, everything was viable at any given time.
At any time.
And I did like that.
And I did. I agree. That's where I think I kind of probably prefer the die in this situation.
And it's also quick. It's just boom.
It is quick. Because I am normally the guy who actually prefers the deck of cards or how Fantasy Flight now does it with the token bag, where you build a token bag.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love the token bag.
Like Arkham Horror LCG, it's so good.
So much better for that. But, guys, kind of a little off topic. To me, it's still very much in the Forbidden Sky, Forbidden Island genre. A little less the Forbidden Desert for me. But still in that same genre of game.
Yeah, it's kind of like those almost stereotypical cooperative games.
Yeah.
Everyone has a unique ability. Everyone, so like if you Sub Terra 1 has it where everyone's unique. They improved on this one because in the first one, if you lost all your health, you were just stuck there.
Right.
And people had to go back and get you if they really needed your ability. Here, at least the people can move.
Right.
Like they're crawling.
They can crawl one space.
Yeah. They still roll the die. Also, I found out that like let's say we had the artifact and we were running out, people who are killed, like actually officially killed by the lava, they also still roll. So it's not like you never lose the amount of hazard die you're rolling.
Got it.
In fact, it gets worse because then the curse happens and
you roll it twice.
You're basically just running out. But what's really interesting on this one is in Sub Terra 1, the layout was just kind of the layout. Right. It was you dealt with the tiles as they were coming out. Like if you're like really like running and it's just like empty hallway and then it comes to a collapse at the end and you're like shit as creatures are running after you. Very thematic and horrifying.
Right.
Here, you dealt with the tiles as they were being laid out, but there was a secondary effect of like, oh, the lava's going to start flowing back. So not only do you have to deal with tiles on the way in, you have to deal with them on the way back.
Right.
And I like that element. I think it makes the game way harder.
Yeah.
I do think this game is actually harder than the other one because in Sub Terra 1, similar to like the volcano track, your deck of cards was also your timer.
Got it.
So whenever you ran out, it was actually the deck represented your flashlight's battery. So you didn't lose when the deck ran out. It's just that at the end of your turns, you rolled a die, and I think a 5 or a 6. It's either 5 or 6 or 4, 5 or 6 meant you got to play one more turn. So it's like, and that adds a lot of tension of like, okay, end of my turn. Okay, cool, my flashlight. You're hitting your flashlight trying to run out. And then you go again, still going, go again, still going. And then like right at the end of the entrance or the exit, you roll a 1 and then the creatures grab you.
Yeah.
And I think this game does evoke similar feelings.
Right.
Do I think you need to run out and try and pay, I don't know how much this is going to go for, probably a lot because it's not everyone's going to get a copy.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, because at least for me, you get a lot of the same feel of like Forbidden Skies. To me, the same kind of super difficult play through of everything like that. So to me, there's other games out there that are going to do a very similar feel that I wouldn't spend the prices that are going to go on the secondary market for this game.
No, exactly. And unless you're like really in, because a lot of people hated Forbidden Sky.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know why, because I mean, it doesn't look amazing.
It doesn't look amazing. It's stupid tough.
It's so hard.
It's stupid tough.
I know they reeled it back in Forbidden Jungle.
And they did, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I actually kind of liked about that genre is they progressively got harder.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a great idea, because if you like the whole series and you're good, like you enjoy that type of game, you have people who are just kind of mildly, we do Island.
Yeah.
You want a little something harder? We go to Desert.
Right.
Oh, you want just to lose?
Yeah.
Let's go Sky.
You're a masochist. I see you brought your own whip from home. Exactly. I liked it, and I loved the gimmick of the tiles connecting and then lighting up.
Yes.
It's like, that's brilliant. You never get stuff like
brilliant.
That. However, yes, you're right. Those games give that same feel. But that's just the nature of cooperative games, right? Like,
well, I think cooperative tile laying games are even more so.
That's true.
I think there's only so much you can do before it becomes either so elaborate that you cut out an entire group of people because it's just it's too much.
Spirit Island.
Right.
It's like, not everyone's playing that.
Right. Or there's not a huge amount of new stuff to do.
Yeah. This thing, I got like some upgraded components. That's what
artifact. Them.
Yeah,
it's solid gold for anyone who needs it.
It has some weight to it and it has these spikes on it, so I just dropped it on my cardboard thing and it punctured it.
Yeah.
It has a little dent in it now. No, I like all the character abilities. There's a ton in here. Yeah. The one thing I don't like is the base game. These are the base game ones. The tiles are bigger than the... these are from the expansion.
Got it.
That's really it. I mean, I guess that's a production issue that you're going to expect. I got to say, I'm still incredibly impressed. I expected this to like come out half-assed and like, you know, the rules weren't finished, the miniatures weren't good. Everything feels production ready. I really probably think that COVID and shipping killed it. Like, because this was set to come out years ago.
Right. I don't know how COVID... the shipping could have killed it from COVID standpoint. But at that point, delay it.
Yeah.
You already have the money. What's the point?
That's true.
Nobody can take it any farther from you. So my gut reaction is COVID killed it with the shipping in the sense that he wasn't going to be able to do the shipping. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, I just don't care anymore.
That could be it, yeah.
If he wants to get on and correct us for the video.
Yeah, or if anyone... I mean, I'm pretty sure that there's a bunch of articles out there about it. At the end of the day, I was like, okay, I guess I'm just not getting that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like... The biggest difference, one, I actually do enjoy this a lot, because Sub Terra 1, the tile laying was completely free. Except you couldn't, so you had your entrance tile, similar to that. You couldn't go back. But anything else, it's all fair game. You have an amalgamation of how tiles are going. Some people might like that. I enjoy it a lot, because you're just going to get a different tile layout.
Right.
Here, it's very much more... succinct and like it's more organized in your tiles because
there's walls.
They're essentially walls because the starting layout has like it's like this is where it is, and you have columns.
Right.
So you have 7 columns, and that's those are your walls. What?
I was just thinking this would make a great way to do a D&D dungeon.
That's true.
Just have a stack of tiles for the players as they're going through it. So even I don't know the layout as the DM.
That's not a horrible idea.
That's actually... I think I might do that.
You're still going to get your randomness. I mean, the one thing that does suck about the tiles is they give you this dumbass bag.
Yeah.
It's like the smallest bag ever, and you're putting how many?
Well, my answer still is this.
No, exactly.
The bottom.
And the reason why they didn't do that, I'm guessing, is because on the back they're double-sided, so you play the temple side as you're going, then they eventually will spread with lava.
Right.
Through all connected areas, they will spread with lava, which is really cool, and I like that. I like that it's on the back, and you feel it actually progress from wherever the artifact was. That's really neat. But yeah, the bag makes it really weird. What's really cool, though, is when you add in the expansions, it actually takes out tiles as you put in the new one, so you don't just flood. I think it probably stays the same amount of tiles. But the bag is unnecessary. I think you literally could do what you said and just shuffle them, put them in a stack, and draw from the bottom.
Right, because other games do it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, Sub Terra 1 actually had like a tile tower. It was completely aesthetic. Right. It was also kind of made shittily.
Right.
So it's like
there's lots of different ways to solve that problem.
Yeah. You just know and like it's not like it tells you what's on the other side of the lava.
Right. It just tells you a lava is if that's all the information you got. So you knew the type of.
Yeah, you knew it's gonna be an L.
And that's it. I don't think it would greatly change this game.
I actually think it could. On the backtrack, you could methodically plan your tiles, how they're going to explore, so that the lava can only go in one direction, so you could game the game. If you wanted to put that much effort in.
I think if you wanted to put that much effort into it, and if that's the case, then just keep going to a harder level.
That's true. Yeah.
Just make it more difficult.
Yeah. I mean, we've been playing on the normal difficulty, and it's brutal.
It's brutal.
This game is very hard.
Yep.
I'd actually probably say harder than the first one.
Which, for me, if you're going to do a Sub Terra 2, another generation of these type of games, do make them more difficult.
Yeah.
Because, again, in my opinion, always, if the company stays in business, you go back to the original one for the easier one, and I want the harder puzzle on the next set.
Yeah, exactly. But there are difficulty levels, which I enjoyed. Yep. Difficulty levels in the first one. I honestly think that this is a pretty good sequel. I'm more shocked because even whenever we were like this last game we just played, it's like it's pretty much over. But then we're like, well, hold on. Like we eventually like
we're learning the rule of it hit 0. We're not just it's game end. That's the change point. Like I would have a lot more faith that we could have done a lot more if we knowing that earlier. So with the volcano track, whenever it hits 0, it's like, okay, it's about to erupt. Right.
So if anyone rolls the fire symbol on the die, then it actually starts erupting, and then it's like, okay, now if you don't have the sanctum tile with the artifact, you just lose. You were in the volcano and you died. But then if you do have it,
you have a chance to get the artifact.
Yes.
Doesn't mean you're going to. Like, that's how we failed, is we rolled fire without getting all the keys over there and getting the artifact.
Right.
But at least we had the opportunity to do it.
Exactly. It wasn't deterministic where it's like, okay, no, there's 3 turns left. We have no chance.
It goes back to the Sub Terra 1 of, you ran out of cards, but now you get a roll and have that chance. We had the roll to see the chance again.
That's true.
That's it.
It is essentially, that's the equivalent of like, okay, our flashlight's out and it's dead. Right. Immediately.
Right.
So I'm glad he kept that. It's not a hard end.
I like not having hard ends. That's always nice.
The Guardians weren't actually as, like... Because with the die, what I like is that it also still has the equivalent of you rolling, oh, okay, it's a trap. We're not near any traps. You have a lot of, like, dead rolls versus something always hurting you. You run the risk. Sub Terra 1 had the same thing of, like, I'm going to hang out on this collapse tile.
Right.
Hopefully that doesn't get rolled. If it never does, you're good. And even if it does, hopefully it's not a 4. Ooh, okay.
Right. But again, because you have to put out all the tiles, with the collapse ones, they start blocking more and more spots.
Yes.
So,
or they have an effect as soon as they come out.
Right.
Guardian tiles, Guardians there.
Right. So, I actually kind of like that fact. Like, Guardians come out, it was collapsed. Yes, collapsed rooms are bad. Clearing them is good, but there's always the risk of them recollapsing. Mm-hmm. It was good.
Yeah. So the major differences between the two. In this one, well, like I said, Sub Terra 1 has the exit is in one of the bottom. I think it's 5. You take 5 tiles and the exit, or 4 tiles and the exit, shuffle them, put them on the bottom. So it's like, it could be at the very bottom, so you have that kind of guessing game. In here, you have to do every tile.
Yep.
That's a major difference. I don't know if I like it better or worse. It's different.
It's just different to me.
I think... God, getting the artifact, though, because the art, at least, like, when the Sanctum tile comes out, it's, like, the furthest column that it can connect to from the entrance.
Right.
So you can kind of try and steer it that way. So you can be like, okay, well, this is all dead, so we know we need to get everyone over on this side. Which I guess is thematic if we're, like, exploring the whole Sanctum whatever we're at. Yeah, I mean, get in, get out is kind of the overarching theme versus just get out.
Right.
I can't really think of a whole lot. I haven't tried the expansions, so there are 2 expansions that I got. Typhon Wakes and Arima's Light. This one adds a new temple mode, a new game mode, and 5 new explorers.
Yeah.
So, temple mode just adds different types of tiles and different types of traps. Game mode Ark is... Oh, you're trying to find the Ark of the Covenant.
Got
it. So that's the new... I don't know what that does, but... Oh. So the Ark, you can't carry it. You have to push and pull it. You have to drag it out. And then that's pretty much that. And then the Typhon Wakes adds, I think, like a devil. The Ashen Legion. Or wield the power of the sleeping god and obliterate your friends. Oh, it's a 1 versus many. Temple mode changes the hazards you'll face. The game mode, a new game mode, Typhon, lets 1 player play against the explorers.
That's interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah, because there's a deck of cards. Doom cards.
Got it.
And then I think in this one it added like a turret and stuff that maybe a person can use. So, which, again, Sub Terra 1 had different modes as well. Instead of exiting, you had to find column tiles and with explosives and blow up the columns and things like that. So, I mean, I'm going to give him props. Oh, I'm not giving him specific props. I guess he did design the game, so the game's good.
Right.
It's just, who knows if anyone's ever going to get to play it if they didn't pledge for it.
Yeah, I don't think if you didn't pledge for it, I doubt you're going to, other than the secondary market for the people who are going to sell it immediately.
Right. Yeah, I fully expected it to be like, okay, this is basically the first one. And it is, but I like it enough to be like, I think I'll own both.
Yep.
Just depending on the vibe I'm feeling. Alright, on a scale of 1 to 10, what are you giving Sub Terra 2?
7.
7?
Yep.
I'm a little bit higher. I'm at an 8. I do like it a little bit less than the first one, and that's mainly for theme. I give Sub Terra 1 a 9. But
yeah, for me, production, the fact that it's going to be out as soon as it comes out, and Forbidden Sky to me is still pretty solid if you want something pretty hard.
That's true. Yeah,
So.
I get it. All right, well, that's our thoughts on Sub Terra 2, everyone. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below, if you can even play it. Otherwise, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a review. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.